we are going to continue from where we stopped. Hopefully you are acquainted with the environment. I mean Excel environment. You are acquainted with what we learned the other time. So we are going to continue our learnings today, our tutorial. Today you need to pay attention because everything we are going to learn is very important for you as a potential data analyst. Even though we are learning Excel, some of the things we'll be talking about or be doing are part of the data analytics. So paying attention and then jot down your question at any point we have, well, we set aside for question, then you can ask your question. So let your pen be with you, or you note down any question you would like to ask as we go on. All right, so that being said, without further ado, let's jump into a tutorial for the day. Okay, so today we are going to look at the Home Ribbon tab. Right? The other day I told you that we have different tabs here, ribbon tabs. We are going to look at these ribbon tabs and the commands that are within them to understand what each command does. Right? So, looking at the Home tab, we have the Clipboard Ribbon Group, the Font Ribbon Group, Alignment Ribbon Group, Number Ribbon Group, Styles, Cells, Editing, Sensitivity, and the rest of them. But we are starting with the Clipboard Ribbon Group. Of course, to some of us that have been using computer, you understand that we do copy and paste or cut and paste. But for some of us who are not very acquainted with these commands, we are going to look at it. And in Excel, a lot of us just know Control-C, Control-V, that is copy and paste, but Excel does more than that. The Microsoft Excel does more than that. I mean the paste, the copy and paste that we're talking about. So you can see a data set right before you, a source data set, right? It's a little table. We call a table, ordinarily this is a table, but in the language of data analysts, we call it a data set. A data set can be a small data set or as large as we can think of, right? So looking at this data set, right, we have records. You know, when we go horizontally, we call it record, right? These are records. While vertically, you have them as fields. These are fields, right? So a data set is made up of fields and record, or record and fields, anyhow you want to keep it. But what we want to do now on this data, I deliberately formatted this to be blue. This is the subtotal column, right? And at the end here, we have the total of all the subtotals, right? So let me also format it to have this currency format. Okay, so we want to look at copying and pasting. You know, normally when you want to copy, you have to select, right? You can now press your Control C to copy, or you can come here and copy. And once you click this command button, this copy command button, it will copy. Now the difference between copy and cut is that cut moves the source data from its original position to anywhere you paste it. Let's say I am cutting this data source now, or data set now. If I click cut or Control X, you can see the matching ants around the data set I just cut. If I come here and then I click my paste, you see that the data set has moved from where it was to another position. Let me undo that. Now, if I copy, if I highlight this data set and copy it, it will only take a copy of this data set and then paste it. When I click paste, it will paste another copy of this, right? And that's the normal Control C and Control V that we do. Okay, it pastes everything here. If you look at this place now, you'll discover that you have hash here. This is because this place is not big enough to contain the data that is in that cell. So you can simply come up here and double click, or you click and drag to expand that cell or that column, so that the data, it will be enough for the data to enter, right? So that's just the normal paste. Now, in as much as this matching ant is still here, selecting or showing that we copied this, we can also go into this paste. Apart from this very one, this normal paste, Control V, if we click and drop down, there are a lot of options here. Now they are divided into 3, okay, and the fourth one will be this. So if you look at this, it says paste, which is the same thing as this very one, right? This, I can just paste my data. If I move on to another place, I can go back there and look at this one. It says paste formatting. It says format, right? Or formula, sorry. Formulas, right? And if I click this, you can see that the format, this blue, is no more here. So what Excel does is just to paste this data with all the formulas that are used to create these subtotals and the total. You can see it did not paste this format, this blue here, right? If I move forward and paste the next one as formulas and number formatting, right? You will see that the number formatting, this number formatting, which is currency, is also here, but the blue is not there, just like the way you saw this one. So it pastes the number and the number formatting here. I hope you understand. I'm trying to show you the difference, or I'm showing you the different paste options that we have. That's about that one. If we continue to come down, we can paste and keep source formatting, right? Can you see what is happening there? We paste and keep source. Please, you can mute your mics. So now look at the source data set. I am pasting it with source formatting. That's why it carries everything that you have here, down here. The next one is pasting without borders. It will paste every other thing. The formatting, the number, the number format, the formulas and everything, but without border, just as the name implies, without border or no borders, right? Moving forward, I can also paste as I keep source column width. Now remember that when I pasted this one, the column width was not enough to carry this $1,800, right? And that's why you see this hash, these hashes that you have here. But this time around, if I am pasting it and keeping the source column width, it will take the column width of the source data and make sure that everything fits exactly as that of the source data. Do you understand that? It expands the subtotal column by itself when you are using this. The next paste option is transpose. This very one. Now, what you have here is the transposition of the data you copied. The column now represents the rows, while the rows represent the columns. That is how to transpose your data. It is very important. Please take note of it. Now you can see that everything we had, like category amount, then amount A, amount B, and so on, subtotal, all of them are now here. Whereas this, the one in column, is now on the row side. The same thing happens to even the data that we have there. So that is how to transpose, paste as transpose in Microsoft Excel. We continue. If we come down here, let me put my cursor here. If we come down here to paste values, right? You see what it does there. It only pastes the values. If you check, these values do not have formulas with them. If you check, when I click this one, if you look at the formula bar, you see the formula that generated that total, right? But when you are pasting it as values only, you will not see anything like formula here. You will only see that same data that you have right here in this formula bar. Now the next one, okay, let me drag this, should be under paste values. The next one, oh, because I typed, it went out. Let me copy again. Copy, and then I come down here. I want to paste this one, paste the values and the number formatting, right? Now this is what it does. You can see that the number formatting is here. The $sign is also there, right? And go back, I paste this one as source formatting, values and source formatting. So it's almost exactly the same thing that you have right here. But in this case, there is no formula. Remember, we are talking about values. None of the values, none of these three will have your formula. will have the formula we use with it, right? That's why you can only see everything. It looks the same, but the formula is not there, or the formulas we use are not there, right? Then when we go to other options, we have this, pasting the formatting or the format of the source data. You can see that it only picks up the lines, the borders, right? So you can copy and paste only the formatting, the border formatting of the source data. The next one is this one, paste link. Now what this does, it pastes it normally, right? But this very one is linked to this source data. If I, for example, I have 200 here. If I change anything in the source data, that same thing will change in this linked data that I pasted here. Let's say, for example, I come here and type 150. You can see that this very data set changes that value from 200 to 150. Why? Because this pasted data set is linked to this source data. Now, let me copy again. Once you see the matching ant that surrounds the data set out, know that your copy is put off. So let's copy again. Put my cursor here and paste as picture, right? Now, if you've been working with Office, you know that some things are objects, maybe like shapes and pictures and otherwise. So this very data now is being pasted as a picture. You cannot edit anything here, right? You can't edit anything. I can move it around this spreadsheet, can keep it anywhere, I can carry it, I can move it. So this is just like a picture. You cannot put your cursor in any of the cells that you have here. Then also we can paste as linked picture. It is still picture, but it is linked to the source data, right? So if I double click this, for example, let me press escape for the matching ants to leave. But if I double click this, it will show me where the source of this data is coming from. Did you see that? Let me do it again. If I double click this linked picture, it takes me to the source data. That's this very picture that you see here, this data here that was pasted as a linked picture was gotten or was taken from this source data. I hope you understand. Did I confuse anyone? These things are very important for you to know, right? Okay, let's move forward. We still have a lot others. I mean, some others that we need to paste, right? I just want to show you everything in this paste. So it's not just Control C, Control V to paste. Now, let me copy the source again, or maybe only this set of data, right? Let me copy. If you come down, you'll see paste special. Let me put my cursor somewhere. Let this guy come close to here. Paste special. This is paste special. If I click, it will bring up a dialog box, right? All these ones that are here are the ones we've talked about, using source theme and all that, right? It will use, I mean, we've talked about pasting as formulas, values, and so on. The only ones we've not talked about are these two, and we can't talk about them right now because
Sorry, sir, please,
hello.
sir, can you cast your screen again? It's went off due to network problem.
My screen is still being shared. Can any other person see my screen?
Yes, I want to because it's done.
Is someone else seeing the screen? Can you see my cursor moving? Can you see my cursor moving? You are seeing it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right. Let me stop sharing and share again.
Yes, sir. I think that's what I can see better.
Okay, I've reshared.
Okay.
Is it up? Is it up now?
Yes, it's up. Yes, sir, it's up.
All right.
Not
So,
yet, sir.
okay, that may be due to your
Not yet,
network.
sir.
I think it's your network.
Network is not that strong in this. As I don't know if that's the reason why the screen is not showing. Like it's becoming the slow motion. Yes.
Okay, I think it's network problem.
I guess it's network because their own is working properly.
Okay. Can you join again? Those who are not seeing the screen, please join again. You can exit and join again. All right, so I was talking about paste special. Let me go back again. When you click on your paste button and drop it down, you see paste special. When you click it, you will see this dialog box. So I was saying that the ones we've not talked about are these two, comments and notes, and then validation. And we can't talk about them right now because there is none of these cells that has comments or validation. Validation is still a bit far away. It's in data. When we talk about that one, we will know what to do. This is data validation, right? We are just beginning from home. So let's continue. So these two, we'll skip them for now because we don't have comments and notes and we don't have validation. Okay, now let's look at operation here. This operation that you have here. You have none, add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Let's see how they work. Let me say I have maybe 2 here, another 2. Let me type 2 up to 4 places, right? I come here. I come here to select this data set here and copy it. And then I go to my paste special and select add. So when I copy, I'll come and highlight this. Please take note of these two. When I paste, what that add will do is to add this to this, to this. It will add 2 to all this data that you have here. These four data sets that you have here, or these 4 cells. It will add 2 to this one will be 802, this one will be 252, and so on. So as I highlight this one right now, let me go to paste special and choose add and click OK. Can you see what's happening or what has happened? This is 802, 252, and so on. Hopefully you understand that. If I enter this data 3333, right, and I come here again and copy and then highlight this, go back to my paste special and say subtract. The same way the addition was done, it will subtract this 3 from this. Watch when I click OK. Have you seen that? 3 minus this will give you this. That's why you have the minus in it, right? If you want to do it the other way around, you can have like this data set first and then copy the 2. I hope you understand. You can flip it the other way around in order to remove this minus if you want to. But this is just to demonstrate that it will be 3 minus whatever you have here. The same thing is applicable to the multiplication. If I have maybe another 4 here, and I copy this, and then I highlight this, I can right click, paste special is still here too, and click here. It will bring up the same dialog box. And I multiply by 4 and click OK. That's the multiplication. And I'll do the same thing. Let's say 5, 5, 5. It must not be 5. It could be any number. I hope you understand. I can even copy this. My Control C, Control plus C. I highlight this, right click, and then left click, paste special. I can now divide and click OK. That's the result. Hopefully you understand that. Then still on that table, or still on that paste special dialog box, we have skip blanks. If I have a data set like this, say 23, 50, 62, 64, 80, and in another place I have 20, I skip one place, and then I have 40, I skip again, and then I have 100. If I want to copy this and replace what I have here, I want 20 to be pasted where 23 is. I want 40 to be pasted where 62 is. And I want 100 to be pasted where 80 is. Right? Here we have blank. Here is blank and here is blank. Because there is nothing here, right? This 50 will remain and this 64 will remain. That's what that dialog box, that option does. So if I come here and copy this, I can right click and copy. And then I come here and select the whole of this data set, right click and paste special. I can come here and say skip blank. I check that box. The moment I check this box and click OK, you will discover that this 20 will be here, this 40 will be here, this 100 will replace 80. Let's see. Can you see that? This 20 replaces this, the number that was here, and so on. Whereas all the blanks, every data that was in the blank does not replace anything, because we checked that skip blanks. So it skips every blank that we have and allows the data to remain, the source data to remain. Hopefully that's understood. And I think let's go to paste special again. Transpose, we've done transpose, and we've done paste link. So that's about pasting. You know that you can see that there are a lot of options when pasting in Microsoft Excel. Finally, on the clipboard, you have what is called Format Painter. The work of Format Painter is to take the format of a particular data and apply it to another one. For example, this place I pasted it as a value, normal value. That's why you don't have this. So if I come here and just click this 1800 from this source data, or any of them that is formatted, right? And then I click my Format Painter. I click my Format Painter and then come and click here. You will see that it will apply the format, this color format and the bold that we applied here to this 1800, right? If I want to apply the same thing down, I can come back, put my cursor here, and click my Format Painter to take I click my Format Painter to take the format I gave to this. And then when I come, I paint from here. I can drag down to paint every one of those data that you have there, right? And once I do that, the moment I leave my cursor, that Format Painter is off. If I want it to persist, if I want to apply it to different places, I can click the source data I want to take the format from. Then I double click, right? I double click. With that double clicking, I can come here, apply it. It takes it. I can come down here and apply it. I can go to anywhere and apply just like that until I press Escape key. Do you understand? So if I press Escape key, you can see the painter is following my cursor, is following the cross. If I press Escape key, it goes off. So it returns back to normal. Do you understand? That's about the clipboard. Hello?
Yes, I said, can you take that again? The painter aspect.
Okay. I said that the Format Painter takes a particular format from one data or text to another. It copies only the format to another one. For example, right? Let me copy this, or let me just type random data here. You see the set of data. If I want to give it exactly the blue color and the bold format that I gave to this, any of this, right? I can come here, click the one where I want to copy that format from. I then go to my format painter and click. You can see the matching ants also. I can come here and apply it by clicking and dragging it down. Do you understand? So it has applied that. What is happening here is that this place is not enough for this data. I can come here and double click to expand it. Is that understood? And then I said that if I want to apply that. Hello?
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Some of us are having a very tough challenge. Like the motion is not the screen is not the motion. We are not really through it. The current like instruction or given, my screen is not in motion at all. I'm only seeing maybe after 5 minutes later, maybe 3 minutes later, that's what I'm saying. You're seeing.
Wow, so sorry about that. Don't worry, I will drop this tutorial or training where you will watch it again. Right? It's your network. It's actually your network. It's your network.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try to log out and again.
Okay, okay. So I said that if I want to apply, if I come here, I want to copy this, or I can copy it anyway. It can be red. I can come here and change color to red or whatever. And I want to copy this using my format painter to apply it to different texts that I have, right? I can double click here, 1, 2, and then I can come to 100 and click. It applies it. I can come here and click, it applies. You can see the format is applied. That's how it will be applying to anyone I click, right? Until I press escape key to remove it. So that's about the clipboard. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir, we understand.